Hi, Shay. Thank you so much for
Hello.
having me. This is such a treat. It definitely this show brings back memories. My girls grew up watching the show. They're in college now, but really, I love to see that the franchise continues and that it's being modernized and it's here for a new audience. I mean, the messaging is spectacular. I love it. So my first question is, how did you modernize these monsters for Monster High while balancing fantastical elements with real-world teenage challenges?
I think one of the really interesting challenges of modernizing Monster High is just getting into the truth and authenticity of what kids are encountering today. So, when Monster High was originally launched in 2010, it was a huge splash. As you said, your daughters loved it. A lot of kids loved it, and not just kids, but teens and adults. And all of these people who had not seen themselves presented in the toy aisle before are now seeing characters that were like them. So as we got to this new generation of Monster High and really thought about reimagining it, we really looked at bringing even more diversity and inclusion, looking at intersectional identities and identities that were more expansive than the original versions. So it was really a fun challenge to start looking at the ways that we can represent even more kids and more kids could see themselves on TV through our characters.
I love that. It is really important for kids to have role models, people that look like them, people that are going through the same struggles so they can relate. And I think that's why I love that you have continued that same messaging in the series. So, speaking about diversity, how do you authentically incorporate messages of embracing individuality and diversity into Monster High? And what impact do you hope these messages will have on teenage viewers?
The really important thing for us in approaching that authenticity is making sure our storytelling team, from our writers to our storyboard artists to everyone on the crew, is authentically able to talk to a lot of these stories. And then beyond that, our cast is always authentically cast. So we are looking for, a very diverse group of people on the show who are able to speak to these issues, speak to issues that happened to them when they were kids, to say, this is how it really was for me, and bring that honesty to each portrayal. And that's been just so important to us throughout the entire process of Monster High. We also have a very diverse group of cultural consultants that we reach out to who are looking at every script and every episode and making sure that these characters are, really honest and, non-stereotypical portrayals of these different kinds of diversity.
Wow, I love that you guys are going above and beyond to make sure. I think it's so important. I think a lot of these shows sometimes don't portray minorities or people in an appropriate way, or they don't know that there could be, some sensitivity issues and whatnot. So thank you for sharing that. That's really great to know. Now that just makes me love the show even more. Um, how do you incorporate themes of self-discovery, acceptance, and friendship so that it resonates with the audience while maintaining and entertaining the storyline?
I think with Monster High, one of the great things about Monster High from its concept, from its original launch, is the idea of monsters in high school is funny. So I think we have just like such a great built-in comedy and entertainment potential as we look at these kind of classic high school tropes and classic high school stories through this monster lens. And how that is different when you're talking about a vampire, or a vampire who wants to be a witch, or a Franken monster who's figuring out how their parts fit together, and really finding those moments where we can have these themes integrated into the stories while still being as entertaining as you'd expect from anything else on Nickelodeon. So it is important for us to have that heart and to have that messaging and to show this kind of world of acceptance and inclusion in Monster High. But it is also very important for us to make sure that every episode, every character is fun and entertaining, and we have these really goofy, fun characters to look in on.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Thank you. And one last question. And what has your personal journey been like throughout this process, being part of this franchise? What is your personal takeaway?
Monster High has been just kind of a dream job from the beginning for me. It's really been just the support from the executives at Nickelodeon and Mattel who have been so supportive of the vision, so supportive of the idea of we want to push further, we want to, go even bigger with the diversity that we're bringing to the table. We want to make sure that we're including disabilities and we want to ensure we're including different kinds of neurodiversity and really making sure that those characters are as interesting, as fun, as developed as every other character has been super important. So for me, it has just been, really a joyful experience, working with the cast, working with the writers, being able to work with the crew and the art and everybody has been very passionate about this show. I think our crew is probably one of the most passionate crews because they are able to see themselves and bring themselves to this area. So that has been just so much fun and a really great experience.
Wow. Congratulations on the show, and thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you so much.